Hello, my name is Courtney Hilton, and I am currently a graduate student in the Master of Education Program Administration and Leadership stream at the University of Windsor. My scholarly presentation for this course consists of exploring the principal shortage in Ontario schools. The agenda for this presentation is the introduction, the literature review, and key findings of this research proposal. This study will address the problem of the ongoing and current principal shortage in Ontario schools. In 2009, public and Catholic school boards had 41% fewer applicants for principal positions than in previous years. This is a critical problem because if there are not enough qualified principal candidates in the principal pool, there may not be enough candidates to fill the current and future principal positions. Principals are crucial in every school because they are leaders for teachers, support staff, secretarial staff, custodians, and of course, students. Research shows that effective leadership is essential in schools because effective principals are far more likely to be effective and to positively impact student achievement. This research study will examine why there are a shortage of principals in Ontario schools, why the principal pools are declining, and the factors that are discouraging qualified teachers from applying to the principal pool in Ontario school boards. From previous research, there is a global crisis facing schools since there is a distressing shortage of principals who are willing to leave the profession. There is also research stating that 4 out of 10 principals expect to leave the profession in the next 3 years. This is very concerning, and due to the shortage of principals, this can significantly impact the required organized routine for the school. Principals have many important roles within their schools, such as providing leadership, governing school policies and procedures, school staffing and scheduling, staff hiring, public relations, and delegation. If teachers were in charge of these responsibilities, it would increase their workload each day and potentially cause teachers to have increased stress levels. Increased workload can create extra stress, which can affect one's health. High levels of stress can have serious effects on the human body, such as the respiratory system, cardiovascular system, the endocrine system, the gastrointestinal system, the nervous system, and the male or female reproductive systems, according to American Psychological Association. In order to justify this research problem, I will gather evidence from teachers and administrators based on their experiences in the education system, since this is a proposal. I will also take into consideration of other suggestions made by other researchers from different research studies. The following research questions will guide this proposed study. 1. Why is there a shortage of principals in Ontario schools? 2. Why are the applications for the principal pool declining? And 3. Are principals overworked to the point they are changing career paths? From previous research, principals identified heavy workload, state accountability measures, and time spent on compliance requirements, the top reasons for principals to consider resigning. Other concerns were that principals received low pay and they had increasing disrespect from students. Some examples of student behaviors that are disrespectful are eye-rolling, heavy sighing, ignoring a request, talking back, inappropriate responses to questions, and offensive language. Principals must respond and mitigate disrespectful behaviors, and this can be challenging and intimidating. The principal pool may be declining over time due to the factors of increased stress, low pay, and ongoing disrespect from students. If the principal pool number of candidates keeps declining, the shortage of principals will continue currently and in future years to come. And this will be a significant problem in our school boards. During the years of 2020 to 2022, the COVID-19 pandemic increased responsibilities for school principals. The principals had to ensure that all staff and students were following the government mandates while still completing their own job tasks as a principal. When schools were open, the COVID-19 responsibilities for principals involved making sure staff and students were socially distant, contact tracing, especially for students that may have come in contact with COVID-19, enforcing mask mandates, setting up social emotional supports for students and their families, and filling in for teachers who had to quarantine. During the COVID-19 pandemic, it was left to the principals of the schools to mediate this exercise and navigate ways in which government-mandated actions could be actualized in a manner which supported the school community. Students, teachers, and parents looked for direction from the principal during the COVID-19 pandemic because mandates were constantly changing on a regular basis. Principals also had to deal with another stressor during the pandemic, which was receiving threats about mitigation measures. 34% of principals said they had received online threats from students' parents and guardians, while also receiving in-person threats. Other research stated that 15% of administrators reported at least one violent incident by a student, and 37% of administrators reported at least one incident of harassment from a student. Due to the constant changing government mandates, the ongoing rules changing in schools, and the personal violence, harassments, and threats, it has increased the stress for Ontario principals. This could be the reason for the shortage of principals in Ontario schools. Some of the key findings to this research study identified heavy workload, increasing job-related stress, low compensation relative to the responsibilities as a principal, and challenging student behaviors as major deterrents to applying for principal positions. The COVID-19 pandemic further increased these responsibilities as principals had to manage evolving government mandates, contact tracing, and student and staff well-being. The added pressure of maintaining health and safety measures during the pandemic discouraged some educators from considering administrative positions. While principals are earning a higher salary than teachers, teachers may believe the salary does not adequately compensate for the extended hours, additional responsibilities, and heightened accountability in the position. Without meaningful interventions, the principal shortage is likely to persist going forward and potentially impacting the quality of education and school leadership in the future. This is a list of my references so far used in my research study proposal about exploring the principal shortage in Ontario schools. Thank you for listening to my presentation. And if you have any questions regarding the principal shortage in Ontario schools, please do not hesitate to contact me. Thanks.